Happy New Year's Eve 2022. This was the last video of 2022. Uh, and we've been talking about trauma. I want to address parents. If you're like me, when you have kids, you're still learning how to be an adult yourself or trying to learn how to be an adult. So you cannot know what would traumatize your kid. I'll give you an example. I told you that I had a trauma at 3 years old, and without going into detail, that was involving my parents. But then there was a time when I was not much older than that. I heard my dad was playing cards at a friend's house down the street. And I got on my brand new tricycle and I went to find my dad. Because if you're like me, Dad was God back then. I mean, that's who you look up to. That's who you count on. That's who, and as well as Mom. Mom was the loving part. Dad was that awesome creature that you just really couldn't understand, but you wanted to be like. So I'm riding my tricycle and I get lost, and I end up behind this house or duplex or something like that, and it starts pouring down rain, and I'm just sitting there crying my eyes out on a tricycle, unable to move. Uh, and then out of the shadows, I see the figure of my dad. I've never been so happy to see anybody in my life. So in other words, I'm trying to say that parents don't intentionally traumatize their children, right? As a matter of fact, they save them a lot. But it is what it is. Trauma is a very, so if we got confused parents who aren't really adults yet, raising a child and they don't know what's traumatic to a child, uh, then we're going to have a continuous problem, right? Well, I hope not. I hope that the research into the neuroscience of this reveals something that can be done, in vitro, where in the womb, it could be located that a baby has this one wire crossed or whatever it is. It goes beyond my scope of understanding. But if they could figure that out and reroute it before to where that child can be like another child and just process whatever, that loud noise, that mom and dad fighting or whatever, right? Um, there's more serious traumas, I guess. I don't know how to project that. You got a 3-year-old kid, anything's traumatic that makes them afraid that they're going to be hurt or that they're going to die. Um, I think I've probably mentioned this before, but in my years of doing counseling and helping other addicts, I have never met a woman to date that didn't have some kind of sexual abuse in their history. More men are coming forward with that, but they're a little less forthcoming with that kind of information. So we got a battle ahead of us, folks, and I hope you can join me and, learn what you can. If you're a parent, be aware. But let's start 2023 with the idea that we're gonna beat addiction. I can't do it, but God can. God can do anything, right? If people say, "What would you change in your life?" and I wouldn't change a thing, because once I gave God the wheel and sat in the passenger seat, everything has gone okay, right? No more than okay, blessed. And I think I told this story, but if I didn't, I'm going to tell it now. Christmas morning, I drove to Austin and I saw my little granddaughter Delilah and my little grandson Ace. And at the end of the day, my daughter asked Delilah, "What was your favorite gift?" And she said, "I got to see Peepaw." I think I already told you this, but it bears repeating because that warms my heart every time I think about it. And that, without God, does not happen. That, without God leading me to the places I needed to be, to the church, to the AA meetings, to the therapist, to back to my childhood to right the wrong. You see, cognitive behavioral therapy is nothing but you change your thinking, your behavior will change, right? It's simple. It's hard to pull off, but it's simple. An example is, well, there's a tons of examples. Smart recovery has taken that on. You know, they do more of a cognitive behavioral therapeutic style of their approach to recovery. The 12 steps are set up to get that going, but just fall a little short of the actual therapeutic part of it. But they're all needed, you know, whatever it takes. Here's my advice to anyone: get vertical first, then the horizontal takes care of itself. God bless you all. Let's have a great new year, all right? Look forward to seeing you in 2023. Peace, and remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good.